Prayer does not fit us for greater work. Prayer itself is a greater work before beginning any event. Let us invoke the blessings of Almighty through a prayer song by Mr. B.N. Yeti. Kindly rise.
ಮೊದಲೊಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ಮೊದಲೊಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ಆದಿಯೋಳು ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದ ಪೂಜಿಸಿದ ಧರ್ಮರಾಯ ಆದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಪಾದ ಪೂಜಿಸಿದ ಧರ್ಮರಾಯ ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ ರಾಜ್ಯವ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ ರಾಜ್ಯವ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ಮೊದಲೊಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ಹಿಂದೆ ರಾವಣನು ಮದದಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನ ಪೂಜಿಸದೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ರಾವಣನು ಮದದಿಂದ ನಿನ್ನ ಪೂಜಿಸದೆ ಸಂದನು ರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ಸಂದನು ರಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ಮೊದಲೊಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ಮಂಗಳ ಮೂರುತಿ ಗುರು ರಂಗವಿಠಲನ ಪಾದ ಮಂಗಳ ಮೂರುತಿ ಗುರು ರಂಗವಿಠಲನ ಪಾದ ಇಂಗದೆ ಭಜಿತೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ಇಂಗದೆ ಭಜಿತೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ಮೊದಲೊಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ ದೇವ ವಂದಿಪೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಗಣನಾಥ.
Thank you, Yatin. Our desire is to extend a gracious and inclusive welcome to all of you. May I now request Dr. Shekhar Naik, Assistant Professor and Organizing Secretary of the program, to welcome the guests and the gathering for this morning.
Good morning, dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, and the delegates for this two-day international seminar of tourism and sustainable development issues, challenges, and best practices. For all these years, tourism has developed without any prior investigation of implications on society and environment. Various forms and types of tourism just happened without taking into account of future needs of the surrounding society and environment. To a great extent, these forms of conventional tourism did not benefit the local economy. There was no control over rapid growth of tourism infrastructure and damage made to natural environment. Due to inadequate planning and development of seaside resorts in coastal areas resulted in social, cultural, and environmental related problems. This form of aggressive tourism development badly deteriorated the aesthetic and cultural heritage of the destination area. Of course, academics have been warning and researching on aspects of tourism sustainability for some time, but sadly, it was not what local governments, the industry, or even the traveling public had wanted to hear. Slowly but surely, various tourism development destinations started to feel the effects of too much tourism on their environmental sustainability. In Asia, the island of Boracay, the most popular destination in the Philippines, had to be closed down for 6 months in 2018 due to the environmental degradation concerns. while in early 2019, Komodo Island in Indonesia announced that it has strictly limited its tourism numbers, and Maya Bay near Krabi in Thailand has been closed indefinitely. Today, terms such as over-tourism pepper our conversation about well-known European tourism destinations such as the Amsterdam and Barcelona, while other destinations as far apart as Venice in Europe, the Maldives in the Indian Ocean, and the Delta region of Vietnam in the South China Sea wonder what global warming and sea levels rise will mean for them, for their very existence. The UN Sustainable Development Goals and the various climate accords of the Rio de Janeiro, the Paris and Madrid have all highlighted the need to limit the production of fossil fuels and to curb rising temperatures. Sadly, it is increasingly likely that the limits are not going to be met. Looking to the future, we now need to start to have some tough conversations about the sustainability of tourism in various parts of the world, and particularly in many coastal locations where tourism developments may no longer be viable. Consequently, the Conference on Tourism and Sustainable Development issues challenges and best practices at the University of Mangalore in India is most timely. After all, as one of the largest countries on the planet, India has both an opportunity and the responsibility to look closely at how it develops its tourism industry and not to repeat the many mistakes made by other destinations. As environmental awareness grows, universities and academics need to take the lead in planning for the future. The environmental as well as the economic and social sustainable development issues we face today are of historic proportions. The threats facing the planet are clear, and what is now needed is the creation and sharing of new ideas and the best practices. Sustainable development for tourism is not going to be an optional extra for this industry. I feel very proud and privileged to welcome the guest of this two-day international seminar. It's my pleasure to welcome the president of today's program, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramanian Edapadithaya. Sir has pursued his M.Com from Mangalore University in the year 1982 and secured first rank with the gold medal. Sir has obtained his PhD degree from Mangalore University in the year 1992 and also did postdoctoral research during 2001-2002. Sir has successfully guided more than 21 PhD scholars in the area of human resource management, human resource development, and marketing. For his pioneering works in the field of teaching and research, Sir has received various national and international awards, and also his numerous research papers are published in various national and international journals of higher education. Sir is not only a good teacher and guide, he is a good administrator too. He has served in all the positions of administration of Mangalore University. I am happy to note that Sir is the first alumni of Mangalore University who became the Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University. On this occasion, I am happy to note that our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P.S. Edapadithaya, is a multitasking educational rock star. Served as teacher, a counselor, a guide, a mentor, and an administrator as well as a leader who carries a vision for the university and has taken up several initiatives to take the university to greater heights of excellence. Sir, on behalf of the Department of Tourism and Travel Management and all gathered here and on my personal behalf, I extend you a very hearty welcome to you, sir. Secondly, we have with us the chairman of the leading ports in India, the new Mangalore Port Trust, Sri Venkataramana Akkaraju. Today's chief guest and inaugurator of this two-day international seminar. Let me say a few words about today's chief guest. Sri Venkataramana Akkaraju, Deputy Chairman, Cochin Port Trust has been appointed as Chairman, New Mangalore Port Trust by Ministry of Shipping, Government of India in 2018. Prior to this, V. Ramana was Chairman in charge Cochin Port Trust during 2006, August to March 2017, and June 2018 to October 2018. Sir has obtained his mechanical engineering degree from BITS Pilani. Prior to joining Cochin Port Trust as Deputy Chairman, Sir V. Ramana was Chief Mechanical and Electrical Engineer, Kolkata Port Trust, and was instrumental in facilitating integrated container operations through own, operate, and maintain model. He also worked as Chief Administrative Officer, Indian Ports Association, and Deputy Director, Indian Maritime University. Having more than 26 years in port sector, he is associated with Setu Samudram Public Hearing Committee, member of the Chennai-based Technical Committee regarding infrastructure issues related to Indian Maritime University, and also associated with the preparation of the Statute of Indian Maritime University. Today, under his able administration, New Mangalore Port Trust has positioned itself as an important port of call as far as cruise tourism is concerned. I'm happy to say that NMPT stood number 1 in the rating of ports under Swachh Port by the Ministry of Shipping, Government of India for the last 2 years. So, on behalf of the Department of Tourism and Travel Management, all gathered here, and on my personal behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to you. We have amidst us Professor Purneshwaran Gunashekaran, Professor, School of Tourism, Hospitality and Events, Taylor's University, Malaysia, guest of honor and one of the keynote speakers of the day. Dr. Purneshwaran Gunashekaran, an experienced and prolific researcher with a great deal of experience in sustainability studies on community-based tourism. Some of the highlights of his research expertise are: he is consistently involved in performing in-depth research studies, conducting interviews, analyzing results and presenting qualitative and quantitative data, published more than 50 research articles in reputable academic journals. Providing training and workshop to the academic staff of various universities for fundamental research grant scheme, FRGS applications. Is also conducting coaching classes as a certified coach of action learning by World Institute of Action Learning, University of George Washington, and a certified psychometric trainer by Aston Business School, United Kingdom. He is also a reviewer for sustainability, MDPI publisher, Q2 ranked Science Citation Index, and Social Science Citation Index. He is also the reviewer for several other Scopus Index journals. Honorary Treasurer, ASEAN Tourism Researchers Association. So, on behalf of the Department of Tourism Travel Management, all gathered here, and on my personal behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to you. Another guest who supposed to be with us today and could not make it because of delay in the process of visa approval is Dr. Shajali bin Zohari, Principal Assistant Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Arts, Culture and Sports, Sarawak, Malaysia. I also welcome in his absence. Professor Musteria Begum, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration, Bangalore University, and former coordinator of MBA TTM. I also welcome her to this program. Professor Begum has more than 35 years of teaching experience in Bangalore University and held various organizational responsibilities and extension activities during her service in the Bangalore University. Professor has successfully guided more than 15 PhD scholars and published more than 75 research papers in reputed national and international journals, and also presented papers in the international and national seminars. Madam has also completed 3 research projects successfully. Madam, on behalf of the Department of Travel and Tourism Management, all gathered here, and on my personal behalf, I extend I also welcome Dr. Joseph P.D., Coordinator of the MBA TTM. Welcome you, sir. My hearty welcomes to Dr. Dinesh M.R., Dr. Tony K. Thomas, Professor Shanji Matthew, Sri M.R. Vasudeva, and Dr. Shivana sir, Dr. Sripada, and Raju Selvatana, Chandrasekhar Putana, and all the faculties who have come from different faculties of Mangalore University. I heartily welcome you. I welcome all the delegates who have come from different parts of the country and abroad. A very hearty welcome to you. I also extend my hearty welcome to the students of MBA TDM and MBA Department of Business Administration for your gracious presence at this occasion. I welcome my media friends who are here to cover this program today and tomorrow. I welcome you all. Once again, I welcome each one of you. Hearty welcome to you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome address. Let us also join our hands in welcoming Dr. Shekhar Naik, Organizing Secretary, who is the backbone for organizing this whole event. We welcome you, sir. Every flower is a soul blossoming in nature. Now it's time to welcome our dignitaries florally. May I now request Professor Mustari Begum, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration, to florally welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramania Edapaditaya. Thank you, Madam. May I now request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to welcome our Chief Guest, Sri Venkataramana Akkaraju, Chairman, New Mangalore Port Trust. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Joseph Preedy, Coordinator, to florally welcome Dr. Koleeswaran Gunashekaran, School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor University, Malaysia. Thank you, sir. May I now request Dr. Shekhar Naik, Organizing Secretary, to florally welcome Professor Mustari Begum, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration. Thank you, sir. A lamp does not speak. It introduces itself through its light. May I now request our Chief Guest, Sri Venkataramana Akkaraju, Chairman, New Mangalore Port Trust, to inaugurate the function by lighting the lamp. And I also request the other dignitaries to join the Chief Guest. Deepa Jyotir Param Deepa Jyotir Jalanjana Deepo Viharatu Papam Deepa Jyotir Namostate. I fold my hands before the Lord, the maintainer of this creation in the form of this light. I adore this light which destroys all the pains resulting from our omissions and commissions. A ray of light is a ray of hope. Let's all leave the darkness and step towards the right path. Education is the movement from darkness to light. We lit a lamp to bow down to knowledge as greatest forms of wealth. Knowledge is light. Jnaname Velapu is the motto of Mangalore University. Thank you, dignitaries. May I now request Dr. Joseph Preedy, Coordinator, to brief about the international seminar.
Invited guests and delegates on and off the dais, a very good morning to all. Mangalore University is offering postgraduate program in Tourism and Travel Management since 2001. It was started as Master of Tourism Administration and later changed to MBA Tourism and Travel Management as per the directions of UGC. Now this program has been well established and accepted by different stakeholders. By understanding its popularity and employability, our Honorable Vice Chancellor has initiated to start its undergraduate program in tourism as BBA Tourism and Travel from next academic year. In spite of having limited staff and student strength, varieties of events and functions such as seminars, workshops, conferences celebrating World Tourism Day, food festival, etc. are organized under the banner of this program. What we are witnessing today is also one among them. Though we have organized a couple of national conferences earlier, this is the first international seminar organized by MBA Tourism and Travel Management in collaboration with ICSSR New Delhi. The proposal for this seminar has been submitted by Dr. Shekhar Naik many months before, but ICSR's approval was granted only in the month of November. Soon we could finalize the dates and send communication in and out of the country, inviting resource persons, delegates and participants. We have received overwhelming response and support for this event. We have over 100 resource persons and delegates from different states such as Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Haryana, Maharashtra, Goa and Sikkim. We have received more than 100 abstracts, out of which 75 to 85 are going to present their papers today and tomorrow. We have 4 keynote addresses, including 1 virtual presentation from Dubai, 2 panel discussions, and 9 technical sessions. And out of this, 1 technical session will be conducted today, and remaining will be conducted tomorrow. Out of more than 50 research papers we have received, 27 papers have been selected for publication as an edited book, which will be released during this inaugural session. The entire program has been scheduled in advance, and we all will try our level best to keep the timings as it is planned. This is the brief summary of the whole event, which is going to be held today and tomorrow. So once again, I request everyone to be cooperative and supportive to make this international seminar a remarkable and memorable one. Thank you, Manaro.
Thank you, sir, for setting up the event. The fragrance of flowers spread only in the direction of the wind, but the goodness of a person spreads in all the directions. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to have with us Sri Venkateramana Akkaraju, Chairman, New Mangalore Port Trust. So I kindly request you to address the gathering.
This is one of the fundamentals which we have inherited from our Vedic culture. Ancient country like India, we treat our guest as God. When a guest comes to our house, we treat him with lot of affection, with the same respect as we devotee a God. So, this is the fundamental of Indian tourism. When a traveler across the globe visits India, irrespective of the fact whether the local government is taking care or not, at least the local population, the armed janata of the country, treats the traveler, treats the tourist with the same fundamental philosophy of Atithi Devo Bhava. That's why our country is incredible India. First of all, let me appreciate and congratulate Dr. Subramanya, the Vice Chancellor of Mangalore University, for his great vision in identifying a very potential subject curriculum and starting MBA in tourism and travel. This is a very great initiative. Really, he needs applause for this. Mr. Naik, Professor Begum, and Dr. who is present here, and the other professors who are present here, and the faculty of Mangalore University. A very good morning and warm welcome, my dear young boys and girls of MBA, who with lot of enthusiasm are present here. I also extend my warm welcome As I said earlier, our country is a great nation with Himalayas at north, the Devabhumi, Uttarakhand at north, which has the tremendous potential for the visitors all over the globe to come, see and enjoy the climate and also the environment and also the philosophy of the place. When you come to down south, the God's own country, the Kerala, the land of spices, the most beautiful part of India. It also has tremendous potential. When it comes to west, you have the Goa, you have the 320 kilometers of Karavalli coast of Karnataka, the Virgin coast, which is still as beautiful as it was earlier, and I hope it will continue to be like that, the blue waters of Karnataka. When you come to the east, the sunrise states of Andhra, the sunrise state of Orissa, with its beautiful culture, with its beautiful unexploited sand heaps, mountains, it is all worth seeing. Our country, in short, if a tourist or if a visitor visits India, it is equal to visiting 30 European countries. Our country is having almost 29 states and many other union territories with 130 crores of population. When you travel from south to north, when you travel from east to west, every 100 kilometers you see the change in culture, the change in bhasha, the change in vesh, the change in the way they behave, they respect the culture. It's all worth seeing. That's why you see the tremendous flow of tourists all over the globe to India. That's why they come. So when they come here, it becomes our duty to ensure that the stay is comfortable. At the same time, as you said in your title, the sustainability, you have to keep your culture intact. You have to keep your environment intact. Our country is the country where we believe, Om Prakrutai Namaha. We worship the nature. We worship the nature and we worship the nature and treat it equal to God. That is the amount of respect we show to our land, we show to our environment. So when the tourist comes, it becomes our duty to balance the economy, environment and culture. As you all know, tradition comes from culture. And these two makes values. And values decides the society. So at any cost, while taking care of the tourism, we should not compromise with the environment. We should not compromise with our culture, basic culture. But one thing we have to remember, for a growing country like India, if you see, almost 9% of the economic contribution comes from the tourism industry. 43 million jobs are there in India which are related to tourism industry. Travel and tourism is very important for us. That's why Government of India has almost allocated 2,000 crores in the last budget. They have identified various circuits, the temple circuit, the rail circuit, the desert circuits, like that many circuits, so that the tourist who comes to India can visit all the places without any difficulty. As you all know, the 3 A's are very important in tourism and travel. First A is accommodation. Second A is accessibility. Third A is attraction. If there is no accommodation and no accessibility, even if it is very attractive also, no tourist will come. So it becomes the bounden duty of the industry, the bounden duty of the government to create accessibility to attractive place. When a tourist comes for that attractive place through accessibility, it becomes our main duty to create proper accommodation for him. Unless the 3 A's are there, the tourism will never keep. Remember, in the globe, US, United States of America, is $488 billion economy. In 2017, India was appearing nowhere. When it came to 2018-19, our tourism economy hit $244 billion. Almost we surpassed China as far as the income from tourism is concerned. So this is the amount of potential that the tourism is having. At the same time, as you all know, we should not compromise with the environment. We should not compromise with the culture, local culture also. As one of the initiatives, the Government of India, Ministry of Shipping and Ministry of Tourism, we are giving a very good booster to the cruise industry. Cruise vessels means a vessel which is like a hotel, which can accommodate up to 3,200 passengers comfortably, and it will have a circuit too, just like a bus goes from point to point. This cruise vessel also starts from somewhere in Europe, comes to Mumbai, comes to Goa, comes to New Mangalore, then goes to Cochin. From there it will go to Maldives. So when a vessel, cruise vessel comes to in New Mangalore, say, it will have around 3,200 passengers. That means 10 plane loads of passengers with it. 10 plane loads. So when these people, 3,200 people will not all get down at one time. Out of them, say 2,000 people or 1,500 people may get down from the boat, from the vessel, and they may come to see the New Mangalore. When they come to Mangalore to see, we have estimated average each passenger spends per head, per visit, not less than $100. So just imagine 1,000 multiplied by $100 is the amount of foreign exchange that flows into the economy of Mangalore when one cruise vessel comes. On average, around 24 to 26 cruise vessels we are facilitating to the city of Mangalore. So you can see 1,000 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 26 is the amount of foreign exchange that is being facilitated into the city of Mangalore just by cruise tourism. Not only to Mangalore, the same thing happens in Bombay, the same thing happens in Goa, the same thing happens in Cochin also. So this is the amount of foreign exchange that inflows into the country. Not only this, directly, indirectly, at each port, 2,000 to 3,000 people gets direct, indirect employment. The tourist guides, the vendors, the small and village industry people. These are all the people who get direct and indirect benefit out of this. Recently, when a cruise vessel came to Mangalore, we have provided a platform from the women entrepreneurs from Udupi so that they can showcase whatever they are making, handicrafts, and it was a big success. In a city like Mangalore, out of the 3 A's, the first A, accessibility, is missing here. Whatever tourist destinations we are talking about are almost 70 kilometers to 60 kilometers away from Mangalore. So to compensate this, because of the bad roads, we tried to rope in the helicopter services, but since the particular marketing is still yet to improve, it has to penetrate into the people, then only it will be a success. It is still yet to take a commercial shape, but I am very sure during the coming years it will take a commercial shape. And I will tell you, when it comes to sustainability of tourism, sustainable without compromising the environment, at the same time taking care of the economy, a state like Karnataka has a huge potential. As Mr. Nayak has said, the places places like Goa, the places like Maldives, they are getting polluted, they are getting choked. Particularly the places like Lakshadweep, every time the state government has to put a cap on the number of tourists that visit Lakshadweep, particularly during the seasons of December and January, because there is no that much infrastructure and there is a heavy burden of pollution into the cities, into the states. To avoid this, they are putting a cap, they are regulating. Whereas 320 kilometers of coast like Karnataka coast with clean, beautiful blue water has a tremendous potential. Even if, I don't think it is less when compared to Goa or any other place. It is as beautiful, it is having as much potential as the Goa or Lakshadweep. The only thing is, we are failing in terms of marketing. We are failing in terms of accessibility. We are failing in terms of providing proper accommodation. These are the 2-3 things which the state government and the local bodies have to take care. Then I am very sure from 9% of contribution of GDP to the total GDP of tourism GDP to the total GDP. Here it will be a much better figure. It may go to 15%. But let us hope and work towards that. And as far as the sustainability is concerned, it is, you have to ensure that we have to facilitate, we have to stabilize the flow of tourists into the state and country. But at the same time, the local bodies, the stakeholders should ensure that the environment is not poisoned, the environment is not polluted. For that, we have to again put a mechanism into the place. Just because it may pollute the economy, you can't compromise with the economy. Environment, economy, again I tell you, these 2 things have to be balanced. And as said by King Rutherford, anyone who comes, when you go to other parts of the globe, it is travel. But when a tourist comes to India, it is pilgrimage. That is the amount of respect the rest of the globe is having towards India. So let us keep it, let us work towards it. And I tell you, next to IT, tourism is having the tremendous potential. By exploiting and by facilitating this tourism industry only, India can march from $2.6 trillion economy to $5 trillion economy by 2025. I am very sure we will work towards it. We will work towards Akhanda Bharat and Sundar Bharat. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, sir, for your thought-provoking speech. Release your heart to the sky and let your spirit fly. Now it's time to release our edited book of the international seminar on the theme Tourism and Sustainable Development, Issues, Challenges and Best Practices. May I kindly request our chief guest to do the honor. I kindly request our Honorable Vice Chancellor to do the honor of releasing the edited book of the international seminar. Thank you, dignitaries. Nothing great will be achieved without great men, and men are only great if they are determined to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, we are happy to have with us Dr. Purneshwaran Gunashekaran as guest of honor, Professor, School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor's University, Malaysia. Sir, I kindly request you to speak few words on this occasion.
Good morning, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mangalore University,
Professor Subramania Yadapaditaya, and Chief Guest who just left, Mr. Venkata Ramana, and we have Prof. Mustiari Begum, Dr. Joseph, Dr. Shekenai, and I have my good friends, Prof. Shelji, Dr. Tony, used to be my colleague in Malaysia. He's back home, and thanks for having me here. And I would like to say welcome Shubha Munjani. I just left Canada today. So, might be thinking that where is this guy from? So wherever I go, I was in US like last year. So on the streets, people were asking, where are you from, sir? When I say I'm from Malaysia, okay. So Malaysia is in which part of India, right? So people don't know Malaysia. So wherever I go, I bring the image of an Indian. So I remember when I went for my honeymoon, when I went for my honeymoon to Bali, Indonesia, I was walking on the street with my wife with lots of bangles, and people know that we are newly married. My wife is a Punjabi, so I'm a Tamilian. So even in my house there's a mixed Indian culture, mixed. So when we were walking, they asked, okay, they were talking like Hindi. I don't know Hindi. So I said, oh, okay, I'm from Malaysia. No, you're from India. I said, okay, that's up to you. I'm telling. So the Indian culture, the traditions, the beliefs are very much strongly connected for those people like me in Malaysia or in Singapore. Every day we still eat Indian food. It's not like what you think, oh, we talk English, we know. I still speak Tamil with my parents. I cannot speak Punjabi, so I speak English with my wife. So we are very much connected, and we are very much proud that the culture is still with us. And it's like almost 100 years since my grandfather left India and went to Malaysia. So I'm very happy to be back here again. I feel like this is home. And last year I was in Chennai, and I went to also Amritsar, and superb destinations, just like what been mentioned by some other guests. Incredible India. I don't know about you, but I really felt incredible when I was here. So that is very much back to our discussion today, how to do it in a much more sustainable way, right? So later I will be sharing during my keynote some of the challenges, some of the effective practices that we've been doing the other side, right? And I was also, some countries are also already doing this. China is heavily investing on sustainable tourism as well. When I was there 2 weeks ago, similar kind of setting. So the investment is tremendous. They want to revive, and they know future is tourism if you do in a sustainable way. Otherwise, it's going to destroy everything, just like what Dr. Shekhar Naik said just now. Boracay Island was closed for 6 months, right? So when you don't control tourism, when you don't engage the local community, you don't have the sustainable tourism engine, which has got 3 pillars, can work concurrently nicely, right? So I believe I saw the papers that are listed today by the speakers, by the participants and students. Very interesting titles. I hope we can have some fruitful discussion. We can share, exchange thoughts, opinions on this common learning platform. Thanks again for having me here, and it's a very good, great hospitality and well-arranged, well-organized conference seminar by the organizing committee. I would like to thank them. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Your word is a lamp to guide and light the path. It is none other than our beloved chairperson, Professor Mustiari Begum, Department of Business Administration. Madam, I kindly request you to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries, on the dais, participants for the conference, invitees, student friends, my colleagues from the department, colleagues from the sister departments, good morning and a warm welcome to all of you. It is said, any company that cannot imagine the future won't be around to enjoy it. To quote Socrates, to know is to know that you know nothing. That is the meaning of true knowledge. Learning itself has a vast meaning and is directly related to different ways of acquiring knowledge. Practical knowledge and theoretical knowledge both are important phases of learning. This conference, Tourism and Sustainable Development, Issues, Challenges and Practices, is an attempt to foresee the contribution of tourism to our economy and how to develop and sustain tourism. UNWTO has defined sustainable tourism as tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, environmental impacts, addressing the needs of the visitors, the industry, the environment, and the host communities. India's travel and tourism industry is the 7th largest in the world. In fact, 2017 was declared by the UNWTO as the International Year of Sustainable Tourism and Development. An urge to travel is an involved inherent in human beings. People like to see the world with variety of languages, habits, cultures, and ever-changing landscape. Tourism connotes the act of pleasure, the ability of people to escape from familiar surroundings and everyday routine. It is no wonder that the history of tourism is the history of those who have broadened the horizons of transportation. A tourist visits a country to enjoy in a different environment. Tourism definitely has a tremendous impact on the economy of any country. It has a vital role that it can play and act as an instrument of closer international relations. Traveling, no doubt, improves our knowledge, it gives us pleasure, it educates and enlightens us and provides us with wonderful first-hand experiences. Man has changed his mode of travel over the centuries. The invisible gains in the balance sheet of the country's economy are by no means insignificant. Coupled with these gains is the large amount of international goodwill that the country earns. India has been blessed with a large potential for attracting tourists stretching from the valley of Kashmir in the north to Kanyakumari in the south and Rann of Kutch in the west to Bay of Bengal in the east. India combines within herself an assortment of people, culture, beautiful scenery, folklore, eye-catching architecture, mosques, handicrafts, sanctuaries, various flora and wildlife preserves. India thus is a place for every tourist, no matter what his interests are. Tourism, no doubt, is an economic phenomenon. It's a business that grows over the long term and must be protected and continually enhanced. It is here that tourism and sustainable development becomes very important. As part of the process, the planners should envisage different type of facilities for different type of tourists. The planners must determine the infrastructure that is most appropriate for their target markets. They need to answer such questions as, what will tourists need to enjoy and extend their visit? What will make them come back again? The tourism industry no doubt generates substantial economic benefit both to the host country and the home country. Now, especially in a developing country, one of the primary motivations for any region to promote itself as a tourist destination is the expected economic environment. This economic improvement brings about both positive as well as negative consequences. And it is the responsibility of the government, the stakeholders, and the promoters of the tourist destination who will have to see that the negative impacts of tourism must be minimized, as it will definitely have a negative impact on the environment. Tourism has been identified as one of the world's largest industries with an annual growth of more than 5% over the past 2 years. The main economic impacts of tourism are its contribution to the government revenue, generation of foreign exchange, employment generation, initiation of various business opportunities. As per the forecast of the WTO in their Tourism 2020 vision, tourism is expected to grow at an average rate of more than 4.1% per year up to 2020. United Nations has identified certain parameters which can definitely try to address tourism and sustainability. These are economic viability, local prosperity, employment quality, social equality, visitor fulfillment, local management, community well-being, cultural richness, physical integrity, biological diversity, resource efficiency, and environmental integrity. Thus, sustainable development is the development of the tourism that can meet the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. So with these few remarks, I wish all the best for all the participants. Thank you for giving this platform for me. Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you, Madam, for your knowledgeable words. A pessimist complains about the wind, an optimist tries to change it, and a leader adjusts the sails. The sails for this particular notion were adjusted by a person who is not only a great motivation to all of us, but a visionary and the person who gave us the belief to bring together this event. He is none other than our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Edamataya. Sir, I kindly request you to address the gathering.
Respected Chief Guest who inaugurated this event seminar, Sri Venkataramana Akkaraju, a very humble human being. Because of his busy schedule, we had to leave a bit early. Guest of honor, Dr. Bhuvaneshwaran Gunasekaran. Actually, it is Bhuvaneshwaran Gunasekaran, Indian version. But Malaysian version is Dr. Bhuvaneshwaran Gunasekaran. That means two in one, with Malaysian accent, with the Indian origin, something like that. Professor Mustiari Begum, the chairperson of the Department of Business Administration. Dr. Joseph, the coordinator of MBA Tourism and Travel Management. The organizing secretary of this international seminar, Dr. Shekhar Naik. Mr. Vasudev Rao, members of the faculty from various departments, learned delegates from not only from India but also from abroad, special invitees, friends from media, and ladies and gentlemen. Actually, our Department of Business Administration has been nurturing the child, that is tourism and travel management. Erstwhile, Master of Tourism Administration, MTA, later on because of the change in nomenclature as director of the University Grants Commission, has become MBA Tourism and Travel Management. And this department is highly blessed because of the support of people like Mr. Vasudev Rao. Right from its inception, he has been taking up the responsibility of any kind, not only as an invitee or a guest. He also takes part in conducting the entrance examination because he is a very finest human being on this earth I have ever come across, that is Vasudev Rao. And Department of Business Administration had created a kind of level playing field, a perfect academic ambience for this department to come up. And the persons like Joseph and Shekhar, they could work along with the other guest faculty and the other stakeholders to carve out a different image for this department. I was telling Joseph and Shekhar Naik, we have to strengthen this department because our great nation has got a vast potential for tourism and travel administration and a lot of things. We are not only generating huge amount of foreign exchange, but also employment opportunities, and we are enriching the local economy, and popularizing the Indian culture and philosophy around the globe. On this occasion, the organizers of this two-day international seminar could bring out an edited volume, collection of beautiful articles, which will provide a kaleidoscopic view of the entire seminar. As our chief guest who inaugurated this program rightly highlighted the Indian philosophy of Atithi Devo Bhava. Starts from Matra Deva Bhava, Pitra Deva Bhava, Acharya Deva Bhava. Fourth element is Atithi Deva Bhava. So right from Vedic times, we have been respecting the guests. Today, from the point of tourism marketing, we are not only talking about client satisfaction. We have already gone a step ahead of client satisfaction, saying that delight. Still ahead of delight is called ecstasy. Because at a particular point of time, you may not be in a position to understand needs, wants, demands, preferences and expectations of our guests coming from all over the world. Therefore, we have to sensitize this kind of sixth intelligence to find out the requirements. Then only we can make India as the most preferred tourist destination. Chief Guest rightly said, visiting 30 European countries will be just equal to visiting India. Therefore, we take a lot of pride in saying that I belong to this great nation. I am the citizen of this great nation. So I salute my mother, that is Mother India. So that should be the spirit of everyone working for making India the most preferred tourist destination. Definitely, tourism and travel management will immensely contribute to our economy, environment and culture. From this point of view, the organizers of this two-day international seminar designed a highly befitting theme, tourism and sustainable development, issues, challenges and best practices. Because here, tourism and sustainable development should go hand in hand. One without the other is totally meaningless and atrocious. Because development is always having a qualitative connotation, but growth has got quantitative connotation. Therefore, it is not a number game. It is not simply quantification of their well-being, but we have to understand the quality of the well-being of the people coming from various parts of the world, and also the people who are facilitating the entire process called Indians. Three things are very, very important according to the chief guest: accommodation, accessibility and attraction. And these three things can be properly advocated with the help of the tools and techniques of modern marketing management by properly understanding and addressing the needs and aspirations of the customers. And we have got different kinds of tourism, maybe beach tourism, medical tourism, pilgrimage and a lot of things, ecotourism. And the chairman of the NMDT has rightly pointed out the cruise vessels earning foreign exchange, carrying 3,200 passengers, 26 vessels. So mind-blowing, not only the employment, but the foreign exchange revenue generated by this kind of activity. And Bangalore area is highly blessed because we have all the four modes of transport: road, railways, air and sea. Therefore, we have to make the best use of all these things. Then only we will be in a position to understand the beautiful potential of tourism and travel management, because any change, whether in India or abroad, today or tomorrow. Any change will have two sides. One is the opportunity side, the other one is called threat side. But today, in the changed times, we are not viewing threats as threats. We are smart enough to transform threats into challenges. Therefore, you must be able to identify and define the key issues confronting the tourism industry in our country. Then we must be able to pinpoint the major challenges. We cannot run away from these challenges. We have to face these challenges upfront by being street smart. Not only in policy making, but also embracing the PDCA cycle, plan, do, check, action. Then only nothing succeeds as success. Otherwise you experience the other side of the coin, nothing fails like failure. Therefore, it is not enough if we list out various best practices imported from all over the world. My focus here is not just meeting the best practices, not just incorporating these best practices into our domain, Indian tourism industry. More importantly, what is required today is look beyond the best practices. If you are only after the best practices, you will be equal to your rival or the competitor. If you want to overtake your competitor in this fierce competitive world, you must be in a position to engage in a process called anti-benchmarking. Anti-benchmarking is nothing but moving beyond the best practices. Then only we can establish ourselves as the leader in the field. Therefore, this seminar will deliberate upon these things, new ideas, because unless we create three important things, any seminar will go waste. First one is imaginative atmosphere. Imagination is very, very important. You have to stretch your imagination whenever you come across a new idea by disturbing the status quo. Immediately the second step is creativity. We will be toying with a new idea. We are incubating that idea. It is not enough if you generate new ideas in tourism industry or travel management, but you must incubate it. You have to unleash the creative potential within that idea. The third step is innovate it. Commercialize the entire proposition without neglecting the sustainability part. It is not reckless growth. It is not mindless development of the tourism industry in India. Responsible tourism by maintaining ecological integrity, because we have to remember the future generation. Therefore, we say, Mangalore University has already banned single-use plastic. As Vice Chancellor, I have banned, except this function, banned the bouquet of flowers, that too packed with plastic, because Dr. Govindraj is looking at me. So unless we are role models, unless we practice at least 10% whatever we preach, the Vice Chancellor doesn't have the credibility in front of the stakeholders. Therefore, but of course every rule has got its own exception. Slowly they will get involved in the acculturation process of the new administration, just 6 months old. Therefore, whenever I say regarding sustainable development, 5 things are very, very important. First one is create any system, any process, any ambience, create. Playing the role of Brahma. Second one is build. Build that system, build that mechanism, strengthen the relationships, strengthen the network. Add blood and flesh to the skeleton. Make a better human being, better system. Make it more vibrant, more interactive. So build the role of Mahavishnu. Maintenance part. Then the third one is nurture. The role of the mother. Mother is the truth, father is the myth. The mechanistic style of management. Indian management is truly mechanistic in nature because we are respecting the mother, because there is no person in this world equal to one person called mother. That is the unquestionable naked truth. Therefore, we have to nurture with the nurturing spirit of a true mother whatever the system you create as far as the tourism and travel management is concerned. If there are any bottlenecks or impediments or retarding factors, you have to bulldoze them by playing the role of Shiva, destroyer of all these negative sentiments, negative aspects, disinformation campaign, negativity syndrome, or negative beats. Only you have to breathe, only positivism. You have to see a ray of hope in everything we do. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. That is what nurturing spirit. Then the fourth one is focus. Whenever you are operating in the domain of tourism and travel management, I understand you have to stay focused. Otherwise you will be missing the focus, missing the opportunity, and you will not be able to handle these challenges up front. Therefore, your competitor will overtake you and you will become only the talking horse rather than the jumping horse. So focus is very, very important. Then finally, the fifth element, Panchamam Karasiddhi, that is development, not the growth. Qualitative aspect of any development, that is total well-being of all stakeholders connected with tourism and travel management. Therefore, this two-day international seminar on this tourism and sustainable development will be in a position to highlight, identify and define key issues, then different challenges, and you will list out different best practices, not only from India, but also from abroad. Then you will try to move beyond. You will try to look beyond so-called the best practices by adopting what you call the anti-benchmarking process. I wish you all the best, and I am making an earnest appeal to all the delegates. You will come across several moments of truth during these two-day deliberations. Make every moment of truth as the golden moment for you, unforgettable experience, enrich your experience so that you will engage in what you call reflective thinking process, because my idea is every time one step ahead. Then only you will be living gracefully, otherwise you will be simply surviving because you are not dying. Therefore you are helpless, you are simply surviving. Therefore, if you want to make this tourism and travel industry vibrant and India proud, you have to live gracefully by working out all the strategies to handle these challenges both efficiently and effectively. All the best. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Think of giving not as a duty, but as a privilege. May I now request our chairperson, Professor Mustari Begum, to present a memento to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramania Paditaya, as a token of our gratitude. Thank you, Madam. I now request Dr. Joseph P.D., Coordinator, to present a memento to our guest of honor, Dr. Boneshwaran Gunashekaran, School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor University, Malaysia, as a token of our gratitude. I now request Dr. Shekhar Nayak, Organizing Secretary, to present a memento to our chairperson, Professor Mustari Begum. Thank you, sir. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. May I now request Mrs. Nikshita Shetty, Faculty, MBA Tourism and Travel Management, to propose vote of thanks.
Good morning, one and all present here. Gratitude makes sense of your past, bring peace for today, and create vision for tomorrow. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramania Paditaya, Bangalore University, Professor Mustari Begum, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration, our most valued invited guest, Venkataramana Akkaraju, Chairman, New Mangalore Port Trust, Dr. Bhuvaneshwaran Gunashekaran, Professor, School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor University, Malaysia, Resource Person, and paper presenter, ladies and gentlemen, it's my proud privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First and foremost, I, on behalf of MBA Tourism and Travel Management and organizing committee of this international conference on sustainable tourism development, issues, challenges and best practices, I would like to express my deep sense of gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor P. Subramania Edapadithaya, Mangalore University, and eminent personalities in the academic sphere for delivering the presidential address and being a backbone in motivating all research activities of Mangalore University. Sir, thank you for your thought-provoking and inspiring words. I am sure that all budding researchers or all stakeholders will consider your 5 elements what you suggested for tourism industries. I also wish to express my sincere gratitude of our today's chief guest, Sri Venkatramana Akkaraju, Chairman, New Mangalore Port Trust, who spared time in spite of his busy schedules to grace these occasions. Very hearty thanks to you, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge with us. I also extend my sincere thanks to our guest of honor, Dr. Bhuvaneshwaran Gunasekaran, Professor, School of Hospitality, Tourism Management, Taylor University, Malaysia, for your valuable words. I also express my thanks to Dr. Shardali bin Zohari, Principal Assistant Secretary, Minister of Tourism, Malaysia, in his absentia. I also extend my thanks to Professor Musteri Begum, Chairperson, Department of Business Administration, Mangalore University, for your continuous guidance and support. As no program can become successful with a single person, so eminent personality like you, ma'am, we always require your valuable suggestions and support. A big thanks to you, ma'am. Well, an event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling and months ago, it requires meticulous planning and bird eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues, students and other supporting staff. So I take this opportunity to express my thanks to Dr. Shekhar Nayak, Organizing Secretary, 2 Days Nation Seminar 2019. Thank you, sir, for your minute-to-minute guidance and support to organize this event. I also extend my thanks to Dr. Joseph P.D., Coordinator, MBA Tourism and Travel Management, for providing encouragement and support at every point of time to organize this event. I also extend my special thanks to all our invited guests, resource persons, and paper presenters for your valuable presence in this occasion. I also extend my thanks to faculties of other departments, Mangalore University. And I also would like to place on record our hearty thanks to all the members of organizing committee. Because of you all, we have made this event possible. I also extend my thanks to our department supporting staff who have helped to make this event possible. I must mention my deep sense of appreciation to the people who are backbone of this event, our students, first year and second year. I also express thanks to Master of Ceremony, Ms. Pratibha, research scholar, for her effort towards anchoring today's event. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude, print and electronic media, for giving an excellent coverage about our program. I also extend my grateful thanks to Engineering Division, Mangalore University. I also extend my thanks to University Photographer. I also would like to acknowledge my thanks to all officials of Mangalore University for excluding their support and organizing this event. I also extend my thanks to our seminar sponsor, ICSSR and others. And also extend my thanks to Mr. Evans for beginning the event with the blessing of Almighty through prayer song. Finally, I would like to thank all the members who have contributed or who have supported directly or indirectly to make this event possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. The end of the story is the new beginning for many others. On this note, I conclude the event and I wish all the best for all the paper presenters. Thank you, one and all.